Hey, um, I first of all, let me apologize for the quality of this video. Being as though I am actually on my laptop and I never really had any plans to make YouTube videos. Um, I don't have a lot of subscribers either. I have like four or five or something like that. But I figured if people are going to subscribe to my channel, maybe I should put up some stuff. I don't know. Um, if it continues to grow and people continue to subscribe, I'll talk about things of more, the videos be more structured and more of substance. But I love YouTube. And if, like I said, I never had any plans on actually doing YouTube videos, but like I said, since I do have a handful literally of subscribers, I'll go ahead and just make my first video. so, um, I'm always on YouTube and I happen to run across an extreme amount of videos of women telling their experiences um, with their worst dates ever, I guess. So I figured I'll go ahead and do a story time and tell you about one of my worst dates. And then after that, I'll give you commentary and also pretty much introduce the type of person that I am. Um, so the story begins like this. I was going to see my mom. She moved back to Delaware. Mainly all of her brothers and sisters and my cousins live in Delaware. Um, and we're originally from South Carolina, but my mom decided to uproot and move all of her kids to Delaware, and they all, stayed. Except for my mom and my sister and myself. My mom moved us to Virginia. Um, so this particular time I decided that I did not want to rent a car and I did not want to drive my car, because usually I drive up there to go see her. So I took the train, and my mom lives like literally 5 minutes from either Greyhound or the train. They're across the street from each other. So I went up there to visit, and I have cousins, and my cousins, we're all pretty much the same age, and we normally hang out. We'll go to Jersey, we'll go to Philly. So I'm not too familiar with the area, but it's not like I don't know where I am in particular parts, I should say. Um, so fast forward, I get to my mom's house. We're catching up, we're doing this, that, and the third. And the next day, she decides she wants to go to Walmart, and I hate Walmart. I hate that store, but she needs help. My mom's disabled, so she needs help. So I went to Walmart with her, and I swear every time we go in there, we stay in there for like at least 2 hours. I absolutely hate doing anything involving shopping with my mom. I'm just not that girl. So, um, my mom's in a store. I'm all over the place. I don't really want anything. I'm either helping her or going to try to grab things that she wants or needs, so we can make this shopping experience a little less painful for me, and a little less time consuming. I'm ready to go. Um, so we pick up all this stuff, and my mom's in line, she's paying for everything, and this, that, and the third, blah blah blah. So I go outside and I'm waiting for her, and all of a sudden this really cute guy, just he's walking from the parking lot, and my head is down, I'm in my phone. um and he walks up to me, and oh gosh, he was really gorgeous. Now, I'm a chocolate girl. And for some odd reason, I attract the devils, the light skinned guys. No shade, but light skinned guys are problems. Dark skinned guys are too, but my preference are it's just a tall, dark man, a man who looks like me. Because believe me, believe you me, the girl loves her complexion, and when I look at a man, I love him to look like this. Well, minus being a whole girl thing. But anyway, so he's talking to me. He's like, hey, what's your name? Do you mind if I can get your number? Blah blah blah. So at this point, I have to explain to him that I'm not native to your state. I live nowhere close to you. Um, and I'm just in town visiting my mom mostly, and then some of my other family members. He didn't really care, so I gave him the number anyway. He was like, "Well, if you're not doing anything, I'd like to take you out. Just show you around the way. Blah blah blah." So I went for it. I said, "Okay, that's cool. We can do that." Um, so later on that night, he ended up calling me. It was probably around maybe 6:30 ish, something like that. It was still daylight outside. So he ended up calling me, and he said, "Hey, I would like to take you to this one spot. I love to go here. It's not like I don't know what's on the menu. Yada yada yada. It's really good food. Um, would you be interested in going if you didn't make plans with your family?" And I said, "Okay, that's fine." So he asked for their address. He asked me to text him the address, in which I did. My mom lives in an apartment, so it really doesn't bother me. And it's a secure building, so you can't just walk in. Like the people there, even when I show up and the security knows who I am, my mom still has to come downstairs to get me, and I still have to give them my license and sign it. So I didn't mind. So I gave him the address or whatever, and about 8ish, 8:30ish. This was like, guys, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm trying to remember as much as I can. Um, so about around that time, 8ish, 8:30ish, he came to pick me up. We ended up going to Philly, and I cannot remember the name of the restaurant we went to. Um, but I can't even give you, even if I did know the name, I couldn't tell you if the food was good or not. And let me explain why. So we get to the restaurant, and one thing about this girl, um, if I'm in front of you and I'm walking towards the door and you are literally behind me, I am literally going to step to the side so you can open the door, because that's what men are supposed to do. Am I correct? Or if you're not into that, then I mean, there are girls who really don't expect that type of chivalry, but I don't believe it's dead. Okay, we might run into some shit nowadays, but I don't believe chivalry is dead. So please open the door. So he opened the door, and we walk in, and it's really really nice. It kind of reminded me. It had like a cheesecake factory feel, but it was just nice. It was nice. Um, so the hostess, she walks us to our table. We're sitting down. I guess he already knows what he wants to eat and drink, because he orders his like right up front. Um, and I asked her for a minute because I don't know this restaurant. And I mean, I'm a healthy girl, but I am very, very picky. So for me to go out to eat, that it's a very picky thing. So I asked her for a minute, and whatever. And so she left, and we were talking, and he was trying to recommend some things to drink. So he was recommending some type of, not a smoothie, but it's like a blended alcohol drink. I do drink, but I'm not big on drinking. So I'm not really a big drinker. If I ever went out with someone, yeah, you would probably have to recommend me a drink, because I'm not really big on alcohol. Um, so I ended up just ordering a soda or whatever. And so she leaves, and she comes back with his drink. He had an alcoholic beverage, and I had the soda or whatever. Um, And then she asked if we were ready to order. I said, no, I'll wait. And, can you give me a minute? He already knew what he wanted. But at this time, he's not like glaring at me, but he's like, okay. So she goes away. She says, I'll give you another minute, blah, blah, blah. So this is where things kind of shifted because he's looking at me like, why is there such a glare right here? I have a pimple right here. But he's like, why is it taking you so long to order? I'm like, well, obviously it's not going to take you that long to order simply because you eat here all the time. I've never eaten here. He says, well, most girls who go out to eat order salad. Bar? Excuse my language for a second. Nigga, what the fuck did you just say to me? Did you just ask me out to eat? To go out on a date with you to a restaurant which you recommended and said that the food was really, really good for me to get the fuck here around 8:30, 9 o'clock to eat a goddamn salad? Did you lose your mind? I am a meaty girl. I'm not no white chick or skinny ass black chick trying to fucking impress you. Who the fuck are you to tell me what I can order if you decide to take me out? You know what I'm saying? Now, forgive me, but I'm raw. I'm sorry. This is just the type of person that I am. But you're not going to ask me out and then try to dictate what the fuck I put in my mouth. I'm hungry. I am hungry. I did not eat because you wanted to come and pick me up to take me out to eat. Was that not the plan? In what world does a salad fill you up? I mean, well, I'm pretty sure it does, but I don't even eat salad, And I'll talk about this on another video because the girl is down 25 pounds. Thank you. But nonetheless, don't try to tell me what to order. So, okay, she comes back and I had my mind set on it was crab cakes with crab cakes and maybe french fries and something, or crab cakes and mashed potatoes. I can't remember. It was something with crab cakes. So I was going to order that. So he says, she asked, what do we want to eat or if we're ready to order? And I said, yeah. So I go ahead and I put my order in, and he goes ahead and he puts his order in. And when she walks away, he's like, so you want to you want to eat that? And so I'm like, why? What is with you? Like, what does it matter what I chose to eat? Like, we came out to eat. Am I correct? I don't know what the fuck else you do at a dinner table and at a restaurant other than eat. Like, maybe drink, but you invited me to eat, right? So he goes, well, all right. So how about we'll do this? How about, because I wanted to take you to the movies too. So what about if you pay your portion of the bill and I pay my portion of the bill, and then we can go to the movies and I'll pay for the movies and you pay for the snacks. Pause. Negative. Absolutely negative. Let me tell you how this one gets down. So I'm gonna finish the story and then give you guys some commentary here. My face. The resting bitch face. Like, I have no words for you, son. Like, none. So the waitress comes back and because she notices like that his drink was gone. So, she comes back over and replenishes it. But at this point, he's being super rude to her. And one thing I cannot stand is a rude ass person to the wait staff. Like, granted, you get to pick your job and you get to pick and choose, what you're going to do as far as making money wise, but that doesn't give you an excuse to be rude, you know. So when she comes and tries to fill up his glass, he wants more of this. So he wants more drink. And then he decides to switch out his food. So when she switches out his food, she's like, okay, so you don't want this? Okay, I'll go back and, you know, make it so that we don't give you this order. We'll give you your new order. So when she's walking away, he goes, hey, hey, like, oh my God. Hey, come here. Like, oh, no. Oh. So she comes back over. She was like, yes, sir. Are you okay? Is there something else you need? He goes, no, just never mind. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep that first order in. And like I can see the look on her face, like she's mortified. Now, I'm with this guy. Technically, I'm with this guy. Just because you know, you're being rude and all kinds of shit, like your presentation is affecting me. If someone jacks off in your meat, I don't want that, okay? Ma'am, I ain't had nothing to do with anything he had to say. Leave my food alone. So better yet, she walks away. And we pretty much get into it at the table. I'm like, you're being rude, and you know, this, that, and the third. And he's like, well, how am I being rude? Like, I'm paying for this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. You know what? I'm not about to do this with you. I nicely got on the phone, Googled the cabs near the area, got on the phone, and had a, you know, called them, told them my location, come pick me up. I happily got up and said, I can't do this with you, and I won't do this with you. And I walked over to the hostess and trying to get the waitress's, I was trying to get her attention before I left completely out. So when she finally did come, the hostess actually went and got her, and she brought her to the front, and I explained to her what was going on. You don't even need to cook my food, blah blah blah, and I gave her a tip. I did that because one, I felt bad. Two, you know, I can't with people. That shit was fucking rude. It was just rude, and that's not how. I mean, fuck this story. So anyway, at the end of the day, I got in the cab and I went my ass back to my mom's house. Now I say all of that to say this: I done seen some just truly, truly tragic stories. There's one particular girl's story. It kind of broke my heart when she said that this guy took her to a great restaurant in New York or something like that. And he kept ordering bottles. He ordered the most expensive things on the menu. And he literally got up and left her with a $300 tab. This is why I'm saying this. Because of all the videos that I've watched and some of the things, I have not had too many bad experiences with dates. But my experience did teach me this, because even till now, I'm the same exact way. I have a car. When a guy comes to when he wants to take me on a date, I automatically bring one of my cards, and I drive and I meet him there. And the one reason why I did do that is because when I looked at these girls' videos, they were put in such, some of the girls were put in such terrible positions simply because excuse me, simply because they simply because either they didn't drive or they didn't have any money. Ladies, don't do that to yourself, because you're setting yourself up to be in a position where, what if he does run off on a bill? You're setting your position up, to be in a position where, what if this man is not going to take you home? He doesn't want to take you home. You don't have any cash, or you don't have a bank card or a credit card, and you're putting yourself in a position where if he is that type of guy who says, hey, well, if you want to go home, then you're going to have to give me a little something. I can't be in that type of situation because this girl here will get the fuck up in a minute and leave your ass sitting there. I don't have time for that dumb shit. For all the damn videos that I've watched, I felt so bad for those girls, but I've never been put in that situation because one, I'm going to meet you there. And two, if my food comes down to the table and then I don't like anything that you were saying or that you're doing and I feel like we don't have a connection, deuces, I can pay my bill. I'm not worried about, and I see these memes all the time about guys talking about all girls want are free meals and all this other shit. Look, fuck you. I can feed my goddamn self. There is no amount of food, ladies, that a man could buy you to tolerate any type of fucking disrespect. And to have a guy walk out on a tab and not pay you, let me tell you something. That restaurant will have all the information I know on you. Because one thing about this one is I will pay for what I ate, but I'm not going to pay for what you ate. Now, I am the type of girl that I will never, and when I tell you never, I absolutely mean never. I will never pay on the first date. If you ask me out, you are going to pay. That's just how it goes, okay? That's how it goes. You're going to pay. But I am also the type of girl that, hey, I might hit you on the phone and be like, hey, hun, um, I'm hungry. You trying to go grab some food? Or this new movie came out. You trying to go see it with me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm that type of girl. And I will pay. I do not mind coming out of my pockets, especially for somebody that I do like. But the first date, you kill any chances of ever thinking whatever you thought was going to happen with me is going to happen, because it's not going to happen. If you and that's another thing too. I don't want to meet a representation. So in retrospect, these girls actually got to see on that particular date that these guys weren't shit. And I'm not bashing men because I love me men. I love me some men. And I told you before in the beginning of the video, I love the chocolate. The chocolate. I love it. Okay. But it comes down to a respecting as well. Like, sometimes I look at guys and I'm like, who is raising these guys? Like, I can honestly say that I've never been in a position other than the story that I told you about. But even though I didn't drive and I didn't rent a car and I decided to take a train there, I still had money to either pay my for my meal if I ate it, but I still gave her a tip. And I still had money to take a cab from Philly to my mom's house. You can't let yourself get put in these situations, ladies, where you either A, have to give up ass just to get home, or B, you gotta pretty much come out of your pocket for bill money because some dude is running up a tab that he never even planned on paying for. So I say that to say, ladies, be careful. Like, until you really get comfortable with a guy, and until you really get comfortable enough to have you pick him up and all this other stuff, and like with me, a guy will never even know where I live. Like, everything that we do when I'm dating a guy, everything that we do, I am driving to him. I am driving to meet him. I make sure. Now, I don't carry cash. That's one thing I'm not going to do, just just in case you decide to get stupid, you won't get me. So I always have at least my Wells Fargo card or my Visa credit card on me, just in case, because you just never know what's going to happen. And when I tell you my heart broke for some of those girls, I understand, yeah, everyone doesn't have a car, everyone, doesn't have money at that particular time and point, but ladies, it's a date. If he really likes you, tell him, okay, look, plan 2 weeks from now, a week from now when I get paid. Hey, look, we can set it up then. That way, at least you got money, so you're good. And if you don't have a car, at least you can have money for an Uber or a cab or something like that, because it absolutely broke my heart to see and to listen to what a lot of these young ladies went through. And they were beautiful girls. I mean, beautiful girls. And to have guys treat them like that. Now, granted, there are two sides to every story, but I don't know that side. I just know what these girls have put on YouTube. And I'm 33. And there's no way, like, I mean, I date. I'm not in a relationship, but there is a guy that I have consistently been seeing, and he's been trying forever to get over to my house. No, it's not happening. Like, I trust him enough where I've actually been to his home and whatever, but um, not spent the night or anything like that, because where I pay rent is where I like to lay my head. Um, but I'm not gonna say I don't feel comfortable with him coming here, but until I'm absolutely sure, then it's a no. And any guy that says he likes you, and any guy who respects you enough to respect that value that you put on yourself, that you place on yourself, will have no problem with anything like that. But my issue comes along where I have literally